be able to find those easy. So anyway, here we are in part 2, and yeah, thanks for joining me again, guys. I'm here with the Bowhunter Bowie, made by Tristan Kagerer. He's a younger blacksmith who is based just down in Oregon, which I'm in, up here in Washington, north of Seattle, so kind of up near Canada. And you know, got to have that Pacific Northwest pride. I'm really happy to be able to represent a not only a friend of mine, but another Northwest knife guy. I almost called him another Northwest maker, but I'm not a maker yet. You know, while I have you here in part 2, sorry for being so long on getting my last video up from, you know, the last time I uploaded. I think it's been almost a week or two. I've been crazy at work in my own shop, getting everything ready. Got the bandsaw set, got the motor wired up to the VFD for my grinder, except for the fact that I need to program it. And it's a cheap Chinese VFD, and the instructions are garbage. So that's been a bit of an issue, a bit of a delay. You know how those things go. Still need to get a buffer, 10-inch buffing wheel, and I'm thinking about, I need to rig up some kind of heat treating option anyway. So things are coming along. I always appreciate your guys' support, and I love sharing the progress with you, the daily, day-to-day progress. So if you have not and have never checked out the Jimbo's Knife Fam Facebook group, where there's a link in the description of this video and all videos, you definitely should join, because that's where I'm posting all my updates about that. And you can see things, other things going on by this guy named Tristan Kagerer. Who, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name. I just realized this is the first time I'm actually saying it out loud in my head. You and I should chat on the phone sometime, bud. But anyway, Tristan and I met because he actually sold me a Bark River. If you go back in the history of Jimbo TV, you'll see a JX6 companion knife. It's a Chris Tanner model, the Jessica X6. And that was his originally. Pretty funny. That was also black canvas, brass pins. So I can see, you know, the style. That's just kind of his style. That's why he bought it originally and maybe suggested it for this knife. But you know, lately I've been coming around to kind of really love the micartas too, especially for a user knife, which this is going to be. He asked me to test this out because he's wanting to make it one of his own models, the Bowhunter Bowie. Where did it come from? Well, like I said, he sold me the JX6, and afterwards we just kind of started talking because I noticed he had, if you ever see him on Facebook, all of his Facebook profile pictures are these badass like hunting photos of him carrying a bow and like some huge elk out of the woods. I mean, this guy's pretty serious. He is a real hunter. He uses all of his knives for real skinning, you know, quartering up and all this kind of stuff. And not only that, he also works for Benchmade down in Oregon. I'm not sure if he still works for them, but I know he's worked for them for a long time. I'm pretty sure he still works for them. And so when he's not at work for Benchmade, grinding knives, or, you know, doing whatever he does over there, and when he's not out in the woods hunting, he's at his own shop blacksmithing and churning out some awesome stuff like this. I know Tristan is a huge fan of 5160 steel, so most of his pieces, you know, in this era, that if you ever see anything else by him, will be made of that same steel probably, because, you know, he just has his heat treat down for it. And I mean, let's see what kind of edge it takes, huh? It's funny, the whole day yesterday I had this knife and I didn't even test it out. So it definitely has a nice working edge on it. It's sharp. It's sharp for sure. I wish I could test it against the factory edge of the Bark River Survivor, which came. But I'm actually sending that out in new, unused form. So, oh yeah, I'm seeing some hairs pop. So, this thing shaves real nice. Hang on. Got some nice hairs for you here. so you can see my nastiness. Tristan, it's sharp. I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. I'm loving that swedge grind on here. And it's just so funny to me that, like I said in the last video, this knife, it's bigger. It has a bigger blade. It has a longer handle. It has a better sheath. The sheath's smaller, and that's the point. It has the nice snap-on hardware. I mean, non-snap-on hardware. The slip-on hardware. The perfect retention sheath. And it weighs less than the Bravo Survivor. Can you believe that, guys? And you know, the total overall package weighs less. So I'm saying all this extra leather here is just kind of wasted design. I think Bark River needs to hit the design table, redo their Bravo sheath again, because they kind of just changed it for the last generation of Bravos that just came out. And I gotta say, I also really like this handle a lot more. You know, the Bravo Survivor has the classic Bravo handle on it, which you can't, you know, you gotta love it. In the hand, it feels nice and amazing. But to be honest, and I know that this ramp is meant to put your finger in front like this, and so is the finger choil. But honestly, I typically find myself in this more of a position more often, because I'm not really choking up on a knife this big ever. It's not, I mean, I have so many knives on me all the time. Why would I do fine detail work with this one thing? And I guess I'm not Bravo Survivor, you know. I'm just not the dude who's getting dropped off into the, you know, special mission, recon, whatever. Even though you'd probably want Kydex for this anyway, for that. This, on the other hand, man, see, it's kind of what I like. And I think I like the way that your finger sits on the Bravo ramp more on the smaller models. This, on the other hand, has a really nice finger choil where I want it, basically. That one that I can actually use for support in real heavy chopping. Or, you know, the handle's so big that you can get your whole freaking fist on here, forefinger behind the choil. And it's still, but it doesn't feel like this is wasted space at all. You know what I mean? When this is in the hand, because you can get this grip on here, and your entire hand is resting on top of this baby. Oh man, you know, this thing. Oh my god, you know, it has the slightest palm swell right here, and a tiny bit of tapering towards the back to just make this feel like magic in your hand everywhere. You know, if I had one more criticism, one smaller, tiny criticism, again, it would be only that this seems to be built for his hands, and he wears something like a XXL glove. I mean, Tristan is actually kind of a beast. He, I don't know, what are you, buddy? 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'8", who knows? In the pictures, you just kind of look like you're 8 feet tall, especially standing next to Peter Kohler. But you know, that was a pretty funny series of pictures if you guys never saw it on the Dark Timber Brotherhood. Yeah, another tiny fact about Tristan. He personal, you know, I don't know if he's friends with Peter Kohler, but they definitely know each other. Nah, I would say that they're friends, because Tristan has met him in person. You know, went and picked up his knife. Tristan has a pretty extensive dark timber collection himself, so we should all be pretty jealous of that. Not only the fact that he has the knives, but that he has a personal relationship with one of the best, you know, most upcoming makers right now, Peter Kohler of dark timber knives, who's in his own right a really nice guy and a super talented artist and craftsman. So nothing but good things about this guy Tristan, except for the fact that he made my finger choil just slightly big. Or you know, it's not that the finger choil's big. Maybe this just needs to be, and I can hit this with my own sandpaper. What I'm going to do is just knock this down a bit, this hump, because I'm sure his big fingers fit perfectly in there, but that's just a bit too much for my smaller hand, which I wear a large glove, and this knife is making my hand look a little. It looks okay from this size when you're looking at it yourself, but I can tell you guys are probably just like, look at those little wimpy hands. And the Bravo, I guess we'll talk about that too, since this is somewhat of a comparison video. I want to say shout out to Sam Archer, who traded me a Bark River Matterhorn plus some much needed cash for this Bravo Survivor. So guys, if you enjoy the type of videos that I do, I know they're not the most concise, you know, fact heavy whatever videos, but you know, they're my own style. I do a little bit of a vlog, talk about the knives, show them off a bunch, all angles, talk about their the way they feel in the hand, their possible differences, some grinds and stuff. And yeah, all I can say is I'm super happy with this Bravo. I mean, not this Bravo Survivor, this Bowhunter Bowie. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to even finish that story. Tristan and I, you know, kind of really got to talking because he advised me on buying my first hunting bow, a Hoyt. I got a carbon spider, and I love that thing. So I'm really happy that he and I became friends, formed our own relationship, and then he went ahead and made me this knife for free. I'm gonna put that out there. I didn't buy this knife. I didn't commission it from him. He said to me, hey man, I'd really love to make you a knife. I'm a big fan of your channel. You know, it could probably even help my exposure a little bit as a maker. So I'd love to make you a knife. What would you like? And he and I kind of worked on